Alright, so this is an official controller. It's got a little phone holder thing attachment, and little grip things. I'm going to press the power button, and it should connect to the phone. I should have it, yeah. Arrow keys work, or directional pad. Oh, actually, I forgot. There we go. Control that. Share. Options. This controller. X, circle, triangle, square. The other two, the mouse or the touchpad even works as a regular thing. So now that being said, we're going to go over here to this, and we're going to go to Preferences, Input, Player 1, Map, and everything is mapped the way it's supposed to be. It almost seems like this is, especially right here with the triangle, circle, X, and square, it almost seems like they are designed for controller for an Xbox or Nintendo, and not the PlayStation, which is really confusing because this is a PlayStation emulator. But anyways, this person who made this needs to figure out a way to let R3 be mapped while the extra button or extra function can be used at the same time. This one in particular. Simply because other emulators do that. So I don't see why this one can't do it. But that's the least of my problems with this emulator. The biggest problem is when you go into run game, and let's pick my Final Fantasy Disc 2. It'll give you this player 1, Sony, blah, 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 detected. And then it wants you to automatically... I usually don't hide the game skin because there's some icons that I need. If you go to no and you play, the problem is that the rumble, the thing that makes the sensors or the weights in the controller, well, let me show you. Basically, if you get into a fight, let's see if it'll work. Oh, I might have yeah, I got encounter none on there. Which, this also brings up another issue. I'll talk later if I remember. But as you can see, the sound is off. And if I put low latency on it or anything like that, it's not going to work as well. Now, Squall has an ability that if you press R1, it'll, at the right time, it'll do a special attack. And I just did it right there. Now, the phone buzzed a little bit, but the controller didn't. So if I were to go to quit, and then I don't know if it'll do it right away. Oh, but no, back. Need to go back. Go to preferences first. Input preferences. Oh no, I skipped that. So first you want to go to run game again. Let's see if it'll work again. Yeah, okay, so it gives me the other prompt. So if you go to yes and save, now the rumble will work. But the buttons are no longer assigned to what they're supposed to be assigned to. Like X is now circle. So you would have to quit out yet again. Now go to preferences. Go to input buttons. And see, like select and start are not the buttons that they're supposed to be. Select. Start. Triangle. Circle. Sorry, I had to cough there. Let's see. X. Square. But it's listing everything as like a Nintendo controller, even though it's a officially licensed PlayStation controller. So that needs to be adjusted. The other thing is that I was using a different controller before. Now, typically, I use this controller, which was actually designed as a controller for the Nintendo. But that brings up another issue. So I'm going to hold this button till the controller turns off. There it goes. And then we will turn on this other controller. That's on. Now, if I were to go in, and this only happens when you switch controllers. So now it comes up with that again. And if I were to go to yes and save, and then quit out again, and go to preferences and input preferences in here, map hardware buttons. As you can see again, select start and all the other buttons here, excuse me, are all screwed up again. Again, this needs to be adjusted so that it doesn't say button L2 and R2. This here is legitimately the only thing that would make the game or the emulator far superior to others, is just do the same thing that the other ones do. I don't, if I go into ePSXe, I don't have to remap all the buttons every single time I do another different controller. Which brings me to another thing. The sound. See, that should not be triangle. And that should be square or circle or I usually have it set to see I can go up. Oh, there we go. No. Oh, that's because I was going sideways. That's odd. But typically, okay, so it's working fine with the directional pad. If you go into controller, that's how I have it set up. Usually, when you first start this particular game, walk and triangle. Oop. See, it says X now. See, it's all screwed up. Now I gotta refix that. But luckily, I have a load state. Oops. So I can't even get out of that screen anymore. But yeah, that if you hear the clicks, in fact, I'm going to turn up my volume. That's a good one. Good a whole second delay in sound. That shouldn't be there. And there's absolutely no fixing it. I can go into sound preferences. I could go into less sound. Still does the same thing. Still huge delay. I've even gone down to preferences. You go into I believe miscellaneous. No. There's like an advanced settings, I think, somewhere. But there's another like a fourth option, hidden option. It's just if you do anything. Oh no, it's latency. I'm sorry. Okay, so four things of latency. You can only, while you're in the game, you can only do normal, low, and very low. But even with the latency, let's even go with very low. It's a little bit better, but it's still it's a whole lot better. Still a little on the edge of delayed. However, there's one caveat. If you have the sound on very low, very low, or lowest, you can't use the where is it? You can't use the frame limit. It won't work. Let's do that. Go into preferences. Let me fix my map. Let's see. Select start triangle circle. And that's another thing. I have to keep scrolling down. I shouldn't have to scroll down to do this every time. X square. Again, that's negligible. R1 is not even close. L1 is not even close. L2 is its L1 counterpart. Same with R2. Oops. Those look good. I'm not going to map the mode, but I am going to map extra functions. Scroll all the way down. Now, for the most part, these ones actually... Oh, yeah, you know what? The thumb. I forgot about that. Map single player map buttons R3. I need to unmap because that's the fast forward. So let's go run game. Go into this. So you hear the music. And now I'm going to go toggle frame limit. No difference. No speed up. So normal. And immediately, I didn't even have to select frame limit. It's already working. So audio low. It's not as fast as it was before. It seems like it worked a little bit on the speed up. But maybe not. Yeah, I don't think so, actually. But if you go to normal, there, see? That actually doesn't seem to be working. I don't know. Just a few things. anyways, those are my main complaints right now for this emulator. So basically, having to remap the controls to get the rumble function working again. That's the main issue. So once again, having to remap the controller in order to get the controller to use its rumble feature. Audio desync, and if you're a person like me that likes to fast forward through certain parts of the games or slow parts of the games, or just have it sped up a little bit because the characters back then always ran so slow, almost like they're running in place. This is mostly prevalent on Parasite Eve, where she takes like 3 steps in order to move 1 foot. So audio sync then, and prevents you from using the fast forward or frame limit as it's listed in this particular emulator. The only other thing that I would recommend right now is the way that the cheat codes work. Every time I exit the game and then re-enter the game, the cheats are not don't remember their settings, which is another minor thing. In a way, it's a double-edged sword, because if I start up a new game and I don't want the cheats in there, then it's all good because it starts over fresh with nothing memorized. But again, that's kind of annoying when you have like 20 cheats on. And then, let's see. Oh, one last thing. When you exit out and then you enter back in, it crashes again. So you lose your game progress. Which is yet another thing that is an issue. So if you accidentally if you get a text message or anything on your phone and you accidentally click on it and it opens up instead of opening up a little dialogue just right above here, and so that you can do a quick reply or whatever, if you click on it and it opens up into the messenger, this game will crash, and then your save progress, auto save and all that stuff is basically completely lost. So if you do get like a text or a phone call, you need to manually save before answering the call or text or whatever. The other issue is the what is it called? The frame limit or something. It's not as hold on. Anyways, the frame limit is not as smooth as ePSXe. But I can overlook that easily. Yeah, so just a few things that I've noticed. I've tried resetting the settings. I've tried changing some of the settings. The most recent, this was working just fine with the file system that I have on the phone, but the recent update to the ePSXe fell victim to the storage issues that other applications have with the newest operating system for these phones, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra in my